this video, we're going to use our graphing skills that we learned in the previous video to help us solve some equations. So in our example, we have the square root of x minus 2 equals 2. So remember, if you had a graphing calculator, you could plug the square root of x minus 2 into y1 and 2 into y2 and then find the intersections. So I am still going to find the intersections, but I'm going to practice my new skills, and I'm going to graph this by hand, and I'm going to find the intersections. So here we go. We learned how to graph this by using, put it down here, the traditional square root of x table. We'll just use those 3 points. And translating it. So this graph gets translated 2 to the right. So we're going to take these points and we're going to move them 2 to the right. Yep. So here's 0, 0, 2 to the right, 1, 2, puts us right there. And then the point 1, 1, 2 to the right, boom, boom, that puts us at 3, 1. And the point 4, 2, move that 2 right, is at 6, 2. So there's our first graph. Let me change colors to do our second graph. And to graph 2, hopefully you remember that that's going to be a horizontal line with the value of 2, just like that. So remember, we're looking for the intersections, and I see one intersection right here at the point 6, 2. But when we're solving the equation, we're really just solving for the x value. So we get x equals 6. So graphically actually wasn't that bad, but I do want to show you the algebraic way as well. So let me just rewrite the question. Okay, so when you're solving for x and there is a square root in the problem, you want to get the square root by itself. I'm going to call that isolating the square root. Okay, we want to isolate, it's also called a radical. Isolate the radical. So notice that the square root is actually by itself right now. And what I mean by itself, notice there's no plus or minus behind it here, and there's no number in front, no a value besides the 1. So that's what I mean by isolate. Once that happens, you want to square both sides of the equation. And the reason you want to do that is because squaring is the inverse of square rooting, meaning they undo each other. So this little 2 cancels the square root but leaves everything else inside. So we just have x minus 2 equals 4. Now, this is a pretty simple problem to solve. We'll just add 2 to both sides, and there we go. There's the x equals 6. Notice that they both have the same answer, as they should. So there are 2 problems below that I'd like you to practice on your own. And then if you're ready for some harder ones, that's what part 2 is going to be all about. Good luck.